That's what James is going to be reviewing. And that's his dinner for today with some lychee nuts. And we're going to talk about that Magic Masala a bit.
Yeah, things like a white tornado.
Alright, so I was very thankful when I got this Doritos Magic Masala from the library for free, and I started eating it yesterday afternoon, and the nutrition facts say per 20 chips, which is 50 grams, and so over the space of less than 24 hours I ate 210 grams. So I will say that I ate more than the suggested amount of Magic Masala, but then that's a serving size, and I will say that I was only able to eat about 20 chips at one go because they're so hot. And they were delicious, but they did not agree with my system at all. Went right through me. So, and that's the first time that I've ever had anything like that happen in my life.
As an adult.
As an
Who
adult.
knows what you're like when you're a kid?
Yes. The magic of the masala is it will make you poop your pants. So maybe if you want that as an experience, then you might want to go for it. So today we went to get food from the food truck, which was maybe the most awesome food truck day we've ever had. It was so good.
The guy who was unloading the stuff did extra work.
Yeah.
He's always a nice guy, but.
So James, you may have noticed he has extra shiitake, fresh shiitake mushrooms in his.
They were fresh, eh?
Yes, in the
awesome.
lo mein, because we got free packages of organic fresh shiitake mushrooms. So awesome. And we got these wonderful lychee nuts. And I was concerned when I first opened the bag of them. I was like, oh, it looks like they're mostly rotten, right? There was brown patches and whatever.
But then I opened them up when I was looking at them in the packages.
Yeah.
But when you open them up,
and I tasted them, they're perfect. They're probably the best lychee nuts I've ever had. So very, very good. And anyway, so we got these Cheetos Magic Masala, and James is gonna see if they have a magic effect on him. Like the Magic Masala Doritos had a magic effect on me. So
I'm the one who grabbed that bag, but I wasn't sure if it was what Pauline had been eating. It turns out it's the same thing.
Well, I think it'd be the same thing.
Yeah, I've got to be careful.
Just in Cheetos format, not Doritos format, but.
Yeah, one of the meds I take has the possible side effects: constipation or diarrhea, just not necessarily at the same time.
Yeah, if it was the same time, then you'd be just say okay, I guess.
I don't notice at all. So when I started off on constipation, but after that, diarrhea. And,
yeah, and I mean, like I say, my system has always been awesome. I have never had problems with my system. So I can't imagine if you have problems with your system that way.
No. Avoid this.
I don't know if you want to try. It tasted good and really hot, really hot. Anyway, so I guess James is going to talk about some film terms.
Yeah.
Maybe he's wanting to take our dinner and a movie show to the next level and use some some film terms.
More for
to describe
writing poetry or whatever.
Oh.
Nice to be able to throw some of these sorts of things like day for night, gaffer, so on and so forth. Gaffer tape. I presume that's duct tape. Sometimes called duct tape. So I remembered that from when I went through it. Can't see going through it many more times than the ones I've already gone through it. It's a little longer than it looks. It's under 200 pages. Pages, as the Japanese say. And this guy, who's the guy who wrote it? Tim, Moshansky. He says that it's sometimes recommended by people teaching, can you believe this, Paul? Film in university as a kind of supplemental text or something like that. That's, I guess, pretty impressive. Hopefully it's inexpensive. Does it come recommended? I wouldn't advise you to pay for money to take a film course, but it might be a little bit of a Mickey Mouse course at university, and you'd be paying a huge amount of money. You can get it from the library, or as I did, get it secondhand. It would come maybe recommended. There's a lot of funny terms in there, things that you'd never want to use. And I suppose there's a lot of stuff you'd never run across. Some of them fairly obvious PA. No, it isn't. Production assistant. You'd think it would be something, public address or something like that. Pattern budget, parallel editing. There's a lot of stuff that I've never run across before. Maybe never want to run across again. But I'm pretty sure I'll go through it at least one more time. So how often does James say that? Well, he says it quite often, that he's going to go through something a second time. Now, most things when I say I'm going through it a second time, I'm actually going through it a second time. It's not I will be going through it a second time. This one, I haven't been motivated to
Actually
start
do
it
it.
again. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
There's probably way too much stuff that I don't want to talk about that I feel compelled to talk about. Danielle Smith. Apparently she's running high in the popularity.
Really?
Yeah, she's a real bozo.
How?
There's a lot of stupid people in Alberta.
I mean, right now, weren't we hearing about? You knew it was going to happen, though. Right when they were announcing that they were taking the photo radar things down, because what do we have? We had over 1,000. What was it? I can't remember the number, but it was a lot of photo radar things Alberta had, and they were announcing that
it's
they
low
were
by
taking them
comparison
down.
with the number of speeders we've got. Everyone on the road pretty well is
my
speeding,
gosh,
folks.
So much speeding.
You guys slow down.
So, anyway, at the time I was thinking, well, are they putting more money into the police budget or something? Like, how are they going to handle this, right? But apparently they didn't, and the police are now, well, they don't have enough money to actually manage things. Well, of course not, because they've taken the work of men in the form of technology out of the picture. They haven't put the manpower in at the same time. Of course, it's not going to work out. And so apparently it's, the police need more funding.
So the stats aren't out. We don't know. They already, Calgary was having something like an epidemic, an epidemic of pedestrians getting wiped out. Like killed. When you speed, folks, you kill people. You're playing Russian roulette, and so often you're playing with other people's lives. You scumbugs who speed in the city, you're especially bad because pedestrians are involved. Out in the countryside on the highways, it's bad if you're dealing with other people that aren't speeding on the road. But in the city, it's absolutely inexcusable, and not just in school zones and stuff like that. So Pauline raises an issue that I raised right away, and it's important. So Danielle Smith is going in her driveway. It's a money grab. Yeah, it is. But guess what? Paying taxes to run the cops is a money grab too.
Yeah, her salary paying her salary. That's a money grab.
Well, and what I'm going to
What's she
say
doing for it?
is people who are speeding, they have to be caught. I'd prefer not to have to pay that for that as a taxpayer. I'd prefer to have the cops run by speeders. They're criminals. They're breaking the law. So yeah, they should be paying for various sorts of things. We end up paying too much for people. It's not just for the technology, but there's all sorts of traffic cops out there. We shouldn't need to have them. Speeders should pay for all of that. They really should. The other thing about it is, like for the longest time, I used to say, and I wasn't being hypocritical, I was literally walking the talk. I got my first vehicle age 56. Since I was 20 years old, I was living in Lethbridge. I had a public transport system. It wasn't the greatest. I'd like to think for a city of its size, it wasn't the worst. But I used to say, and it is true, for a healthy male, single male living in a city, a car is a glorified, highly glorified wheelchair. And so, I was paying taxes either directly while I was a renter or directly when I eventually bought my own house. I was paying taxes for all sorts of infrastructure that I rarely used. Every so occasionally I'd take a bus. But most of the time I'd run, or even more likely, walk to wherever I was going. And so I was using sidewalks. And actually, the infrastructure for cars were a pain in the you-know-what, because not so much because of the infrastructure, but the people using it, the car users. People don't have cars end up, or ones that don't use cars much outside of going from city to city or something like that, they end up subsidizing through the nose, through the ears, wherever, people who have cars and use them a lot. So I have no problem with a money grab like that, because otherwise it's a money grab on people who shouldn't be paying it. So there you go, Danielle Smith. Are you taking notes, you stupid? I won't say it. But folks, fill in the blanks, because you could put in almost any cuss word there and it would apply to that scumbag. That's about it.